Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. Can I convince you Scott Joplin, the ragtime composer of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, is relevant, is important? What's great about Scott Joplin? What's great about Scott Joplin? Well, I'll leave it to music historians to talk about his relative importance, the struggles of being a black composer in kind of a horrible period of American history, the various influences that he brings to bear. And let's just take a look at the music. Well, first of all, as a pianist, I gotta say, syncopation is great. And of course, syncopation, as my teacher expressed it to me, is the emphasis of unexpected beat. And in ragtime music, that basically comes down to upbeats. And in fact, if you want to work on your own syncopation, I'm going to turn on the metronome. Maybe you can hear this. Can you hear it? Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Try clapping like this. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 1 and. You hear how the upbeats give you a little lift? Listen, that's the essential feeling of ragtime music. But it's not just that, because Joplin drew on the European classical tradition of functional harmony, incorporating these syncopated elements, also these kind of weird sort of, I want to say almost like march components to create a new synthesis. Of course, ragtime was around and there have been tons of players playing things like it, but Joplin really sort of made it into a classical form. Listen, let's play through Paragon Rag, and this is one you may not know. It's from the later period. So typically, a rag will begin with a little introduction. We're in G. Do you hear how it like craftily takes us from the basic G6 chord to the 5/7 chord, and then he walks us out? It's almost like a stride piano. And now our melody comes in, and it's really what we've just heard. In those 4 bars, we really get the essence of what's fun about Joplin. Listen, it starts on the 1 chord, and right away in the left hand, we have this thing which is called a stride pattern. I'm playing the root of the G chord, and then the 5th of the G chord, and then I'm coming up to play the rest of the chord. Pianists love this because it kind of gives this hand 2 jobs, bass player and sort of rhythm guitarist, right? Meanwhile, the right hand, that's the flat 7 of G, and of course G is the 5 of C, so we get to go to the C chord, and then this little syncopation on it. I went C, I didn't do it, but Joplin did it, C, minor, isn't that cool? Kind of a minor chord with a minor 7 that resolves up to the G. And then there's the 5 chord, and the whole thing happens again. Love this. Now, do you hear us going down 3, flat 3, 2? And that 2 chord, it's not really 2, it's kind of the A is the base of a D7 chord. Here we go. And now we get the 2 chord as a dominant. It's the secondary dominant of D7. Well, of course, that's just European common practice harmony, isn't it? We've gone 1, 5, 1, secondary dominant to 5. I love that minor 4 to 1 as well. Now, it's almost like the melody is the chord, right? Again, this melody just outlines the chord. to the flat 7, and then this has just some passing tones to chord tones. Up the chord, up the chord. It's so clear. It's like it's etching the harmony with the melody, and of course the left hand creating the solid rhythm against which the syncopation lives. It's brilliant. I could go on and on. Let's listen to the end of this section. I think Joplin is to march music and sort of European sort of polka stylings, because this really is kind of dance music, isn't it? As Chopin is to the mazurka or the polonaise. It's like this basic sort of conventional dance form, or you could almost say like just regular old popular music form, has been just kind of like squeezed into a classical music world. Well, you can go ahead and feel free to improvise rags at your leisure. We can use some of the same tricks that we heard in Paragon Rag and just say to ourselves, well, if I play a stride and I do a little syncopation against that, and then maybe break that syncopation up. That's the secondary dominant. And I'll walk up to the root. I'm just really grateful that we have like giant compilations like this one here. Look, it's a big book. There's tons of pieces in here. And the Joplin book includes examples of how to play rags. He wasn't by any stretch of the imagination the only ragtime composer, but probably the most famous, and in a way the person who sort of crystallized and pushed the form forward in the best possible way. Well, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe, ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos, and I'll see you next time.